Am I the a-hole for ruining my sister's gender reveal by exposing her lie in front of everyone? So my 24 female older sister Kayla, 29 female, is dramatic. Everything in her life has to be a moment. She's currently pregnant and she decided to throw this massive backyard all-white gender reveal party. She hired a balloon arc and had a professional photographer, even made people RSVP like it was a wedding. Here's the problem. She told everyone she was waiting to find out the gender until the party, except she wasn't. 2 weeks before the party, we were hanging out at my mom's house and she casually admitted to me that she already knew it was a girl. She said, "It's more fun if everyone thinks I don't know too." I told her whatever, it was her party. Fast forward to the actual reveal. Everyone's dressed in white, cameras are rolling, and Kayla's boyfriend pulls the string on this huge balloon box. Pink confetti explodes everywhere. Everyone starts screaming and crying. Kayla immediately puts her hands over her mouth and starts fake crying like she just found out. I don't know why, but it pissed me off. It just felt so fake and over the top. Without really thinking about it, I laughed and said, "Girl, stop acting surprised. You've known for 2 weeks." The yard went dead silent. My sister turned bright red. Her boyfriend looked confused. My mom gave me the "you're dead later" stare. Kayla started crying for real and ran inside. Half the guests awkwardly left. The whole vibe was ruined. Now my family's saying I'm jealous, bitter, and that I humiliated a pregnant woman on her special day. My sister texted me that I ruined one of the most important moments of her life and she'll never forgive me. But I feel like she made it fake by lying to everyone and putting on a performance. I didn't plan to expose her, it just came out in the moment. So, am I the a-hole? Alright, so before we read the update, first and foremost, I think we're both kind of the a-hole here. Obviously, you shouldn't be putting on this weird facade because you seem to like the attention and creating the perfect moment, even though you've basically sort of scripted it. But also, exposing your sister in front of everybody like that isn't the answer either. So let's jump into the update and see how this played out. First, I did apologize to my sister. I texted her the next morning saying I shouldn't have said anything during the reveal and that my timing was awful. She left me on red for 2 days. Then she finally responded with a very long message saying I robbed her of a once-in-a-lifetime moment and that she doesn't trust me anymore. Here's where things get worse. Her boyfriend reached out to me separately. Apparently, he did not know she already knew the gender. He thought the reaction was real and now feels embarrassed because multiple people told him afterward that the whole thing was staged. He told me they got into a huge argument because he felt manipulated and used for content. Also, I didn't know this until now. The reveal was sponsored. Yes, sponsored. She was planning to post it on Instagram and TikTok for a brand deal with a baby clothing company. But the video comments turned ugly fast. People started calling her fake and accusing her of acting, and the brand backed out. She's blaming me entirely for losing the deal. My mom is still firmly on her side and told me I need to fix this by making a public apology post admitting I was wrong and jealous. I refused because I'm not going to lie and say I'm jealous of my sister's pregnancy. I've now been uninvited from her baby shower and told I won't be allowed around the baby unless I learn how to be supportive. So yeah, things are worse. I genuinely didn't mean to ruin anything, but at this point I feel like I'm being punished for telling the truth, even if it was at the wrong time. You know, I'm torn because the attitude that her sister gives off is really kind of condescending, but it still kind of goes back to that 2 wrongs don't make a right. And I don't think there's anything wrong with her sister, doing this thing for social media if that's her thing. And maybe I'm biased because, I'm someone on social media, but, point being, if it was a sponsored thing and that makes for a cool opportunity for her to make some extra money for her family, who am I to judge, right? Interesting finding out that the boyfriend didn't know the gender, nor did he know that the sister knew. So that obviously caused some friction between them because he thought that she was giving a genuine response to the whole thing and that she hadn't staged it. But apparently there's a final update to this, so let's check that out. This will probably be my last update because I'm honestly exhausted. A few weeks after my last post, things went completely quiet. No texts, no family group chat. I assumed that was it and tried to move on. Then my sister's baby shower came and went without me. I found out through Instagram stories. What I didn't expect was what happened after. Her boyfriend reached out again. Long story short, they broke up. Holy crap. Okay. According to him, the gender reveal incident wasn't the real issue. It just exposed a bigger pattern. He said she constantly staged moments for social media, pressured him to play a role, and cared more about how things looked online than how they actually were. Losing the sponsorship deal was apparently the final straw. My sister moved back in with our mom shortly after. Here's the part I didn't see coming. My mom called me and apologized. She admitted that once my sister started blaming everyone for how her life was falling apart, she realized I wasn't the villain she made me out to be. She said my timing was very bad, but the truth coming out wasn't what caused the damage. It just sped it up. I still haven't spoken directly to my sister. She blocked me on everything and told family members she doesn't want me involved in her or the baby's life. That hurts, but at this point I'm done chasing forgiveness I don't think I actually owe. I've learned that sometimes telling the truth at the wrong moment makes you look like the bad guy, even if the situation was already fake to begin with. So yeah, that's where things landed. I think eventually you do have to own your piece of it, right? And the sister apologized. It sounds like she really did her part to try to better the situation. And her sister really was just not willing to accept any of her own responsibility for the situation. Because at the end of the day, even though it was wrong of her sister to perhaps ruin the moment and expose her in front of everybody, she still has to own her own piece there. That, she was deceiving people and she was apparently behind closed doors pretty much doing the same thing to her boyfriend, who eventually got fed up with being part of a spectacle. So I feel like this kind of goes with the old saying of, what goes around comes around, right? I think everybody who posts on social media in one way, shape, or form tries to put their best face forward and they try to portray their best self. But I think there's a difference between showing your most positive self versus just being completely fake. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty much all I got on this one. I'm really curious to know what you guys think. But at the end of the day, it feels like one of those situations where everybody was the a-hole in one way, shape, or form. So then it really just becomes a competition of who was more of the a-hole. And really, in this case, who needs to take more responsibility for being the problem in the situation? So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.